What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 34. Picking up from where we left off. At the end of last episode, we had just got to the Lake of Rot. So, right from your side of Glacier Maps, like right here, we've already picked this up. Now, looking at the lake, as you can see, it's exactly as it seems. It is a lake full of rot. Now, when you're in Caelid, you got Torrent, you kind of run around, grab items. Here, you have to do this completely on foot. And it sounds like a nightmare. A lot of you are probably like, fuck this zone, I don't want to do it. Trust me, it's not going to be that bad if you know what you're doing. Now, before we even get started, I am going to get you guys a set of armor that is going to really raise your defenses. We're going to get set up with rune arcs and talismans and cleanse and everything we need to make this zone not so bad. But if you're going for your platinum, go on all the items. You want to find some secrets, some secret endings, you have to do it. There are multiple boss fights here. Not to mention, there's a lot of very late tier somber stones, like somber 8s and somber 9s. There's a few weapons. There's stuff here to start putting together a rot build, which is very powerful. But this leads up to here, which this is involved in one of the secret trophy endings and how you get the weapon for intelligence builds that will shred anything through this game. So it's just really, really good to make sure you're knocking this stuff out. Now, if you have followed along with the walkthrough, when we did Raya Lucaria in Liurnia, we got teleported to Mount Gelmir, the Volcano Manor. And when we were there, we fought an optional boss here at the Abductor Virgin. Now, we have another side of grace here in Altus. So what we did is we had to trigger the Radon Festival. You could do this by starting Ronnie's questline or by resting here in Altus. So we started from here and already went down and got the side of grace. But in case people were not following along, I'm just going to show you where it's at real quick. So we cleared Redmane, and I was going to save Radon for like the following episode, but we're only like 30 minutes in. Like, shit, we could fit him in, but not if we go through all the steps for Ronnie's quest. So we just went here, just rested quickly instead. So then we covered Ronnie's quest. I think it was the following episode. So like I said, we should all have this. I think when you drop down, it's like right here underneath you. It's to the left. Yeah, it's like right here. So now we don't have the map, but you can't miss it. So once you get to the bottom, what you're going to be doing is just going straight north. And like I said, what we're doing here is we're just going to clear a cave, which is going to get us a really dope armor set that's going to raise your defenses by the utmost. And then once you couple that with talismans and rune arcs and everything that we have, we can go through the Lake of Rot, cleanse, here and there, and we'll be fine. So I will not be picking up items because we're not here yet. I want to make sure our notes line up. I would pick up the golden seed though. At least I'm gonna. Because we're really not even that far from having our flask almost maxed out. So this is the only cave here. There's nothing else going on. It's just a straight shot to a small fort back over there. Besides, a few enemies, a few like fire geysers. So I don't really think you guys can miss it. Just leave that side of grace and go straight. Now these are death basilisks. We don't want to play with them. They're going to put you down. As far as the level of the enemies here, you see 2 hits, that guy went down. So we are very much on level for Altus. The underground's optional. If you decide you didn't want to do it, this is where you would be going next regardless, right? So we're more than ready to do this area. We're just simply not here yet. We're almost there. Like I said, we have the Lake of Rot. Then we'll be jumping back over here, going to deep root depths, and that's it. The underground's done. That's why we're just trying to stick with it until it's actually knocked out. Now we do have our lantern, so we're gonna head on down. So you're gonna be dealing with a lot of poison and rot here. Not so much rot, mainly poison, and then the final bosses are gonna do rot. As far as enemies, you'll see a little bit of everybody. Damn, they buffed the shield's damage, guys. So this shield used to only get like 80 physical, like 70 or 80. I just like the way it looks. With the recent update, they said they buffed a lot of shields. I guess this is one of them. And with the recent update, it's actually like a year ago, but it's, like the most recent one. So I'm glad, because it's one of my favorite shields. It just looks nice, It's not too big, not too bulky, still gives you decent protection. There it is. So there is a specific way you're going to want to go through here. In fact, the armor set, you could easily miss or overlook. It's not hard to do. I've done it myself. So when we first come in, there's going to be all those little blobs that try to fall on your head. Like this guy. Just be cautious for them. They get you, they'll do some damage. Nowhere near a one-shot. Exactly. Take him. Go far right for poison grease. Take him out. Now you notice you can either go straight But no, I got to turn around. That's where we came out from. Once you get up more, you'll notice you can go straight or to the left. So we're going to go to the left side first. This is really just a dead end for some crafting. A couple of rats. Yep. So if you run, he shouldn't get to you. If you walk slowly, he will. He actually got me. I was taking notes for this episode. Alright, there's your rats. Just to save us some time. So, 4 lump of flesh. Golden rune was not guaranteed. That's just from those guys. Cleanse, heal. If you're not doing faith builds, just keep using, like you're not doing the recommended build, keep using boluses, or just keep using healing items. The cave's not that long, right? If you start taking damage, you may run out of health. That's why we recommended the build we did. However, remember, you have that +5 to faith, and with that, every build will have enough faith to use this flame cleansing. And everybody has at least 1 or 2 faith seals, just from shit we've done out in the world. So, despite your build, you should be fine getting through here. Alright, now there's a little dead end with the item right here. You're going to notice mages are up top. You can't get to them from down here, though. You have to actually keep progressing. So this is kind of the point of no return. So if I was to drop down here and go to the right, there's going to be a hole that will drop you to the main boss. So if you do not go straight through, you're going to miss the whole reason we came here, which is the armor set. You can also take out those annoying mages that's been spamming poison at you. Did not mean to do that. You know it's bad when the rats have more health than the enemies and the people. Yeah, it's hard to avoid that. So locked in. There's going to be at least 3 guys up here. You won't see them all at first. Yeah, and that's 3. Alright, so we'll go ahead and cleanse. You're probably going to get that poison build up again at the end of the day. But it's okay. So it's going to be a big plant, and then you got these guys. But as soon as we come in, we're pretty much wiping those guys out. Now the plant, it's got a good ass amount of health. That's our set right there, the mushroom set. So not only can you use that anytime you're dealing with poison or rot areas, but if you're doing like a poison or rot build, it does give you benefits. And boost your damage when you're around poison, so you're getting poison or rot off on it in your either status. Then you get a damage boost of like 20% while they're poisoned, or while poison's just in the vicinity. So it's really powerful. I don't know if it's with that particular set or the next helm we get. Let's check it out. I was read about it. Okay, so it's the next set that boosts that. Well, we could actually go here to inventory. Should have the whole set. That's the body piece. Let's read about it there. So, no. Okay. To those enraptured by the scarlet rot, they're holy vestments that root one to the earth. So it just raises your defenses. We get an upgraded helm for this mushroom set. It's another mushroom helm. That's the one that boosts your damage when you're around poison. So it'd still be a good set for that type of build. It goes, very much with the style of it. But more than anything else, it's a tool. So now you just got to loop back around. So this time we're going to drop to the right. If you were to go straight, that's the path we just took. There's not much up top, just some crafting. Stake America in case you got killed. Because we have a double boss fight here, I don't think it's particularly hard. It's 2 of the pests from Caleb. That actually sounds like a nightmare, doesn't it? But the fact of the matter is it's not that bad. They don't have much health, and they never have had much poise. Just look for your drops here because there's a little optional ledge. That means you don't have to hit it, right? We'll grab that. I think you could just tank the drop if you happen to, miss the ledge. You should be okay. There's your boss door. I got my paths mixed up. We're going to go the other way first. Make sure our area is cleared. Because there should be a rat. Yep, there it is. Stop it. There you go. Yep, should be a rat gardener room. Alright, so we're going to heal on up. Mana on up. Bucket buff on up. So if you guys want to use a summon, go in here and do it. It's going to keep one distracted while you fight the other. As far as a guide, there's not really one. It's just two basic enemies, which are the pests from Caelid. I think guard counters are very strong here. I think with one guard counter, you're going to break their stance, do a critical, and he's down. He's dead. So just go in, guard counter, crit. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't consider a hard fight. Yeah, they're shooting that shit at you. Two of them. They're a pain in the ass, all in all. But this fight, it's just nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't even summon for it typically. First time I walked into it, though, I ain't gonna lie, I was freaking out a bit. I'm like, two of them, fuck that. Kindred of Rot's Exaltation is a absolutely outstanding talisman for the right build. Poisoning or rot in vicinity raises attack power. So you're going to use that if you're doing poison or rot build. Once again, very obscure builds. They're going to go well with Arcane. But if you were to try to dabble in poison or rot, use this with the helm. I'm going to get you in Lake of Rot. And yeah, your damage is going to be outstanding. And then you're getting rot buildup and poison buildup that's already doing damage over time. Right? And then you get an attack boost from the talisman and the helm. It's just ways of putting things together that are really going to help you out. How far up are we now? Oh, we're already up to 53, so we need 10,000. Well, I've already started. Might as well finish up. That ought to do it. Yep, there we go. Runes come and go. I mean, we've picked up so many in the underground regardless. Look at that. Endurance is done. So that's done. Anything else for weight, we're going to get you better talismans that will help with that. Then you also have Mind. I think that's done. Way later in the game, I'll put 5 more levels there. This needs 10 more levels, but what we're going to do now is just start pumping damage. So we'll bring Faith to 30. Now I want to just bring these to like 40, and then we can just pull some levels out, get health completely done, and then just we're in damage for the rest of the game. We're pretty much in damage for the rest of the game now. It's just, you know, the fact of the matter is we need more health. But 10 more levels. I mean, we're only halfway through the game, guys. Halfway through the game. We're level almost 100, at 95. Mana's done. Endurance is done. We have both our damage stats almost at 30. Both are above 25, which is really good. And we only need 10 levels to health. So we're pretty much just in damage for the rest of the game. We have a whole back half of the game to do it. And there's more left of the game than what we've already done. You better believe it. Now, when it comes to Lake of Rot, first thing we're going to do is get set up here, guys. So I guess we'll do a quick run. Yeah, we're not going to fight anything for right now. So what we're going to do is the only thing we want is a talisman so we can cleanse. Actually, there's one guy we need a weapon for immediately, but we want is our weight as light as possible, right? So we're going to put on our mushroom set you just got. It should stand right out to you. We want the whole set on. Right here. So you can check this too. I think if you go to status, you'll look down here and you'll see, I think it's immunity. It's either immunity or, let's see. Where you can check which one it is, you go to your talismans. That's robustness. It's this one. So yeah, it's immunity because that's poison and rot, right? So you're going to check out your immunity. Plus, we want to put that on anyways. We're going to put on anything we can that's going to boost immunity or whatever it is. So you got that one. We should have picked up the modeled as well. So that again raises your immunity, right? Then if you have a +1 variant, that's even better. So we don't have the +1 of that just yet. We got the modeled, that's Death Bite if you guys want to put it on, but I think we'll be okay. But yeah, that's what we're really after, just raising our defenses with that stuff. But if I was to go to status of what we have on right now, I look at immunity. We're at 552. So if you were to take this stuff off, go to status, you are at where is it? Yeah, 159. That's it. So that's a big jump to immunity we're getting here, guys. Really big jump, right? Really big jump. Third one doesn't matter so much. Only takes a second. Aside from that, there's a few other things we could do. There's a shield we could put on right here, spiral horn shield. So now, going back to your status, you are at 602. You went from 150 to 600. You're getting more than 4 times as much immunity, right? You also have Flame Cleanse Me, and if you guys want, you could put on. We only need that right now. Well, fuck it, I don't want to forget I took it off. You could also put on your boluses. We have 7 of these. These are just quicker. Now, the shield has to be out to get your buff. You see that? So as soon as you put it away, it's gone. That's why you're probably better too, is moving your talisman over to your right hand. That way we always have our shield out and we're always getting that increase. Alright, so the other thing is, if you're doing intelligence, you guys started off with the least amount of faith at 9. Or was it 7? Sorry, 7. So you're 5 levels short to use Flame Cleansing. However, you can simply go on down, put on your 2 fingers heirloom, then that would give you the 12 you need, right? If you don't have that for whatever reason, which I don't know how you can miss that, you also have rune arcs. So with the rune arc we have, fuck it, we'll go ahead and use it. I hate fake stats, but with the rune arc, that gives you 5 stats every single level anyway. So between that and this, the 2 fingers, that's 10 stats. So everybody should have the same setup, you know, everybody. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is just running straight out. You can't really see it, but like right here, there's a little fight ahead. Now, this is going to get us a better talisman than what we have now as far as our, you know, immunity goes. So you'll see that guy. You can barely see him out there. Now, look how much bigger that rot status bar is than before. Much bigger, right? So right before it gets filled, that's when you cleanse, because it takes a second. And right before we get to him, we'll cleanse again. It really doesn't even matter. We're going to jump back and rest as soon as he's taken out. Stay on him. Get your talisman. That's immunizing horn charm +1. So we'll take him out. Jump back. We're a little bit off on our marker. He's straight out. Can't miss him. Alright, guys. So from here, now we can start getting into it. So what I typically like to do first is I'll run out the right side and just curve around. There's a puzzle here with a raised platform. So you'll see switches you need to step off. But what we'll do is we'll just kind of loop around here, grab some items until you get about right here. Then we're going to jump back, and then we'll go this way, getting all the items, doing the rest of the puzzle. Then we'll get back to the same spot, get the side of grace. Then we'll be able to go up the platform for a boss and just pass that for another boss here. So it makes sense as we go. I don't really think any markers are needed. Just follow along. You know, it's not that bad. So just go out to your right. Now you don't even need a weapon. Not for until we get to the bosses. That's the only thing you're gonna need a weapon for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit this. So just start raising platforms right over here. There's many of them, right? There's gonna be many. So we'll cleanse, put your main to that platform. Jump on over here. You're good to grab this. And you'll have your other one there. We'll get it in a minute. So from here, straight southwest, you're gonna see item. So go and pick that up. And you should have enough mana and health to pull this off easily. So, Black Key Bolts, it's going to get you rot damage. We'll go and cleanse. There's a lot of good stuff here. That's to say, you don't really want to miss it at all. You know, don't want to miss this stuff. Now, from here, you turn straight around, and you can't miss the next platform, in my opinion. And this setup we have is giving us plenty of time, but look how fast that rot's ticking away. We're going to cleanse. Our next platform. As soon as you got this one, this is some kind of, you know, loose loot. So you're going to see that right over here to the left. We'll go ahead and pick it up because it is right here. Don't worry about your basilisk. Alright, now as soon as you grab that, you go to this platform, cleanse. Can't pull it up on the map, unfortunately. You can't miss it because that's your podium, you know, it's just right here. Oh shit, I meant to heal, not cleanse. But from here, if you look straight south, you're gonna see another podium. Now we could get this when we go to the other half, but it's like kind of just short and it's easy to overlook it or think it's one you've already gotten. So I just think it's better to grab it now. So go ahead and grab that, cleanse. you look straight across, that's the cloister. So we kind of ran out, went right here, and then just went straight down the middle, and then we're run over to the cloister. Then from there, only other thing here is a little building that we're gonna get a cookbook from. So you're good to go. So what we're gonna do is just run straight on over. And there's a couple loose loots. We're gonna grab them, but first we're kind of focused on the podiums and sites of grace and stuff like that. Let's cleanse. Raise this one. Get off it quick. It'll bring you up. Don't want to be up yet. And then there's your cloister. That's what's called the ring. The cleanse, the seal. Now once we get this side of grace, we'll finish clearing this, that far right side we're working on. Like I said, getting all of our platforms raised and getting the side of grace is going to kind of take the lead for the time being. Now, all we're going to do is run straight down. You'll see your side of grace right here. So it gives us a second starting point. It makes things much easier, right? You got one on each side of the area here. All right, so we'll go ahead and rest, get our resources back. Oops, wrong button. All right, so now we're going to head back out. Go get you guys something really good if you're trying to do a rot build. Because honestly, there's not many rot weapons right at the end of the game. So the only thing you could do is like really farm up materials and craft a shit ton of rot grease. I'm going to get you the cookbook so you can do that. So if you guys want to look up your map, and make sure I'm facing the right way. If you want to look up your map, all we're really doing is there's like a loose loot right here. You'll be able to see it immediately. And then we're going to go to the structure. And from the structure, what we'll do is just run straight back across. That way, if we happen to miss any loose loot right here, that's the only area. Because what we did is we left, got that, went over here, then went straight up, right? That got us there. So going out, we'll grab that item, we'll do this little edge, then if we just run straight through, it ensures we don't miss anything. So try to keep it simple as possible. I would like to just do a full circle, but honestly, we would have missed a lot of platforms, so it doesn't really work out that way. Oh shit, forgot to grab my damn. I just told you guys about that. Not a big deal. Preserve your boluses, and if you really fuck it, it's so much quicker to use boluses than it is to cleanse with your spell. You could use them. The reason I didn't recommend this is because we want to make sure we have these in case of emergency, and we'll be using so many of them. And you guys might not have the resources to craft them, as they are quite rare. You only find them in certain locations, mainly Caleb. They don't respawn like other crafting methods, unfortunately. So Nomadic Warriors cookbooks, you can now craft rot grease, which is exceptionally powerful. I mean, even like a quality build could craft a bunch of rot stuff and make a rot build that way. Use quality weapons, just pure physical sword and shield, and just keep buffing with rot, and it'd be an extraordinarily powerful build. Now we're just running back. But as you see, we've already closed the loop of where we were. Cleanse, we'll heal, and that puts you right back over here. But like I said, we never did this edge. This is more just to show you guys than it is that we actually missed anything. It's a good way to double check. You got some crafting, it's not that much. Since we're about to go rest, I'll probably just use my heals to cleanse. And you guys see why we weren't really worried about it, because there's just not much here. I just don't want someone in the comments like, oh, you missed that little chunk over here on the other side. Yeah, that's because there ain't shit here. But either way, now that we have that cleared, jump back to Lake of Rot Shoreside. Now we're going to do the opposite. So, pulling up your map, like I said, we closed that loop just now. We've done this whole half getting items. So now we're going to be jumping to the right. We're actually going to jump down from this corner because it's a really good somber 8, like right here. Then we're just going to loop around, grabbing items as we go. You'll see these little structures we'll be able to stop at, just like before. There's like some good stuff to get. But yeah, that's all we're doing. We're going to stay close to the coast as we go through. Because like I said, we've already done everything from here over. So as you stay close to the coast here, you're just taking that down. And then the only thing right here is a boss, which, we're not ready for. So, from the side of grace, just turn around. Right where you're uphill. Don't worry about a weapon, once again. And we're looking for right here. Right at that little tree. That's your starting spot. Now, no sense of markers because the loose items in the rot, there's no way for me to exactly pinpoint those. But if you just use the wall as a guide, you can't miss it. Look at that, baby. Somber 8. Told you guys, we're gonna get so much good shit in the underground. As I said before, although it does seem a little tedious at times, I would never do a playthrough without doing the underground. In fact, I don't even know how to play this game without doing 100%. I got my platinum a long time ago. You know, one playthrough at that. So it's not bad. You don't need multiple playthroughs to get a platinum, but I do enjoy the game. And even though I didn't have to do 100%, since I'm not a New Game Plus guy, I just do all the content every time. It's just, I guess, the way I'm wired. Probably why I haven't played it in a long time, and so I decided to do an updated walkthrough here. 2025. I haven't touched the game in a while, just because you know, I have spent so much time with it, and I know if I do a playthrough, I'm doing it all. You know, it's what I do. All right, so we're gonna grab that up. Now stay away from the right. There's a really big dragon kin. You have to fight him in rot and everything else. That's kind of what we're trying to get set up for to make life easier. But you just, you know, once again, the wall is a guide. Cleanse as you go. You can't, you know, really miss anything. On up. Grab that. And there's some butterflies if you guys want to pick that up. What are you doing? God, I think, oh shit. That's one thing about fucking boluses, man. I keep hitting, trying to go for a heal and I'm wasting shit. Alright, now the best stuff is yet to come. So let's go and hit that. The boluses are faster. That's the thing with them. You know, they're faster. So at this point, I think all we have left is a helm, and then a somber and a scarab. Like I said, there's a way to make this tolerable, right? It's been pretty easy, I think. Probably the smoothest run I've ever had through here. Just little things I found when I was taking notes and, you know, all my time in the game. I'm like, oh, we could use this, or we could use that. I'm not supposed to miss this jump. It is kind of irritating because it's up here and you can't like jump right here, so you guys like do a little tiny little jump without trying to overshoot, little tiny jump without trying to overshoot, then you grab another sunbreak. Now from here, yeah, there it is. I wouldn't worry about the basilisk, just slide right down and run. How's our mana? Mana's still looking good. We're gonna go right up here, then we're gonna use this to jump over to this platform structure rather. And then right in here is your helm. So I'll usually just roll, kind of set you up perfect. See that? And then mushroom crown. So this is different, but it does give you better resistances even more. So that's going to raise your resistances much more than what they already are. So that's going to help. Make sure I'm not rotted while I'm talking to you. All right. Then aside from that, if you were to read about it, raises attack power when something nearby suffers from poison or rot. So like I said, you have that helm on and you're sitting here using the other one we got, exaltation. Where the hell are you? Right here. Poison or rot in vicinity raises attack power. So you're doing a poison or rot build, you're getting damage over time with poison, you're getting damage over time with rot, then your helm and the talisman are boosting your damage. I mean, you would be so powerful. That's why there is no build that overpowers any other build, because with your creativity, I mean, I could think of 10 different statuses that could be considered the strongest build in the game. You know what I'm saying? So there's just not one thing that's better than another. I mean, I could take a quality build and make it as strong as a mage build. I could take a faith build and make it as strong as a mage build. I could take an arcane build and make it as strong as whatever, you know. It's just about, I mean, the game gives you so many talismans, equipment, you know, set pieces as far as armor that boosts damage, and then weapons, weapon arts, spells, and buffs. Like, they give you so much of this for every single build that, no, there is not one thing that's better than another if properly put together. Alright, so there's your last somber. Now, since we ran out of our way before, oh, you're not a cleanse. Since we ran out of our way before, we should have all your podiums. If not, like I said, that one, it's like right here. You always overlook it going this way. That's why we grabbed it in our first run through. Now the spiral horn shield should have came with parry on it. I think these guys are just really easy to parry. Let's see. Yep. So going on up. You get booster damage too. And start using these spells I got you guys. We haven't been doing much. We don't really need that setup anymore. In fact, if you really care, yeah, keep it on. But I don't. So I'll probably just go back to my regular setup here. Oh, this guy's fun to parry, so we'll parry him. That. Because all we gotta do is go into the rock for one boss, and there's a lot of areas to stand on, and then the next part, there's just so many platforms, it's just not that bad. So we're gonna go for weight. I forgot, oh yeah, boost our incantation damage. Fuck it, let's keep getting souls. Oh yeah, I might need some clothes on, Brendan. What the hell are you doing? Why not? Put on some light crown. Can we wear a good set of armor yet? I thought I picked up Radon's set. Did I not do that? We'll get it. I guess we'll go back to that. Those are so sick. I love them. Then my favorite greaves in the game, and we're a medium low. Very nice looking set. You can't even see your headband. I'd like a helm, but that might be too much. No, we're still good. Damn, I might not even need those bigger talismans for weight. I bet you if I get rid of that, we're fucked. No. Wow. Wow. Oh, let's go with that. So this is Alabaster. You guys have fought a few of these guys using an Everjail and the Urinary. We fought him on the beach way back in Limgrave even. So we know what he's going to do. I like to parry him because it's fun and makes you fight. Big parry bait. Gives like no health, but I don't think we really need it. Now what's cool about this, if you're doing intelligence, you can actually get his weapon this time. Just don't throw me off the call, yes. Thank you. What's up with magic, dude? He usually doesn't spam all the special abilities like this back to back. Kind of being a dick. Yeah, so if you're doing an intelligence build, Alabaster Sword looks really cool. Don't care for the weapon art. For whatever reason, when it comes to magic, they put like the same Asherborn everything. Alabaster Lord's Pool, which is the same thing as the other one. Where is it? Maybe some weapon with it. Let's see here. Gravitas. Yeah, it's like the same thing as Gravitas. So, you know, you pull his weapons in. Same. I mean, it's the same Asherborn. So, I mean, it looks cool. It's just a solid, great sword. Magic damage, physical damage. So, if you want like sword shield, like a melee mage with like your staff in your other hand, I think it'd be good for that. I just don't like the Asherborn. But I mean, solid, great sword. I've done a few walkthroughs like recommending colossal weapons. Me, in general, I don't care for them. They're just usually a good recommendation for walkthroughs for newer players. So, at the end of the day, what I like is just a regular great sword like this. You know, it's a great sword still, but it's not so beefy where I can easily one-hand it. It's not the fastest weapon, but it's quick enough to get a lot of the buffs that you have talismans that like boost successive attacks and stuff like that. So I think it's just a very strong setup. You got a solid shield. You got a nice great sword that's not overly big, and yeah, it's just really, really good setup. So I think it's perfect for that. So now at this point, we have one boss left down here before we go after the main boss. So what we're going to do is jump back to the Grand Cloister. Check our time. Damn, that's impressive timing. We even went to Altus to do a few things. So when we go over here, we do have to run through the rocks. So if you guys want to have on that suit and the shield and everything else to boost your resistances, you're going to want to. I'm just really not that worried about it because of the fact that there's platforms to fight him. Now, I would recommend having Mimic or just a really decent summon for this because the guy, I mean, we fought these guys before. You know, we fought him before. But at the end of the day, you know, he does a lot of damage. As far as getting to him, you just run pretty much straight out. It's like right around here somewhere, right around here somewhere. You can't really miss it. Yeah, you see him? So if you were just run straight northeast, you left, he's like right here. I'll leave that up for a minute. So if you look, that big swirly, he's like right under that. So we'll leave that so you guys can see it. And you see how fast that rod's building up now? That's the difference that we got from, you know, the armor and everything else. So as mentioned, I'm not worried about it. You guys might be. You know, you might should worry about it. Oops. He's running through our heels. So we're going to summon Mimic. Have the health to pull us off. Let's raise our fire damage. Let's get into it. So I like Mimic because he's like the one summon besides your Banished Knights that can do a little bit of damage. Now we can sit back here and hit him with spells. Mimic should be tied him down pretty decent too. Okay, get back, shield. Use that shield. He's breaking our stances, but we're protected. That's what we want. Jump attacks, charge heavy, pretty much the same. A lot of poise damage, a lot of foster damage. Now while Mimic's good off damage, we can just add to with our spells. Go clean. Ooh, that was close. So that's how I play it. That's how I would recommend playing it. You know, it doesn't have to be super hard. Now this gets you a absolutely phenomenal katana that does not have blood loss. It's like the only katana. There's two katanas in the game that don't have blood loss. One does poison, one does lightning. So this is going to be. It actually goes with that halberd. So if you guys remember from the, I think it was the second underground region we did, we picked up absolutely phenomenal weapon, which was your dragon halberd. So it's for quality, pure physical damage, but the weapon art, when you have it, it's spin and slash, which does lightning. That lightning buffs the weapon with not only lightning, but also frostbite, which it doesn't say, but that's what it does. Then if you were to use a follow-up attack, do a nice big AoE, so like I said, then your weapon's buffed with frostbite and lightning. It's super fucking good. Well, this is the katana variant, so if you want to do like a dragon build, these are the two you would go for. Another weapon that could go quality, right? Mainly dex scaling, but it still has strength scaling too, and this is not even upgraded. So once again, pure physical, but if I was to ask for, you got another buff, frostbite and lightning. So no blood loss, not really needed either though, because your damage boosts. I mean, that gives you another 160 in damage to lightning, and it's not even including the frostbite yet. And frostbite works very similar to blood loss anyway, so I think it is a phenomenal choice. I don't know if there's a follow-up though. I guess not, right? It just doesn't quite. Still, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Very, very, very dope-ass weapon. Now we're getting towards mid game. I'm starting to talk about builds a little bit more because there's so much shit you could do. Just the game happens to be so big, as we're almost 35 hours in, and you're just starting to find stuff to really bring builds together because of the fact that it's so big. You just don't get to it for a long time. You know what I mean? But trust me, guys, there's a lot you can do. Very powerful things. Doesn't matter what build you use. All right. So now that he's done, we are fully wrapped up the Lake of Rot, and we're ready to move towards the end, which is your Grand Cloister. Now you're not out of the woods yet. This area, it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. It's not big. It's not necessarily big. So when you go down, you're gonna be dealing with a lot of Kindred of Rots, which are your pests, which that can be a little, you know, little bit of a pain in the ass. And you also have an ulcerated tree spirit, we have to kind of fight down here in the Rot. Now, if you want to have on your setup that we had before, go for it. I think we'll be fine. Because all you really have to do is cleanse, guys, right? There's platforms you can stand on. So first things first, we're going to be going for the ulcerated tree spirit. So when you go across, we're going to jump here. Follow this around. You go crazy with the platforming here, I feel like. There's shit everywhere. Alright, now we could actually just drop. Follow this. I don't believe there's anything on that side, nor do I think you could even get to it. Don't worry about it. Now here's the trouble, because we want to fight an ulcerated tree spirit, we don't need the extra bullshit. See if we can take these guys down in quick succession. No, it's a little bit higher level. I do appreciate that they don't have any poise at all. You know what I mean? Makes it so easy to stagger. That's the biggest thing. Now there's a lot of them down here, y'all. There's a lot of them. We're really just focused on the ones that are going to be near the boss. Like I said, we don't need the extra bullshit. It's tough enough. Now this isn't even like the boss, you know? It's not the main boss of the Lake of Rock. It's just like a mini boss. But they are, you know, very difficult enemies. So before we trigger this guy, grab our resources very quickly. Now what you're going to do is you're going to run all the way down. Let's go ahead and cleanse. We'll buff up. Just want to try to wait till the ground rumbles and then run like hell. Right? Run like hell. And when you get over here, cleanse. This guy's going to be using rot this time. And we might die a few times here, I usually do. Whoa, did we not just cleanse, bro? Probably, yeah, we got a rough start here, guys. Really rough start. And that's your thing, because rot takes on your health, forget it. Rot takes on your health so quick. Like, really quick. So if he hits you while that's happening, I mean, your health bar's gone. You know, health bar's gone. That's okay, we'll get him. We didn't even get to start the fight, you know. You got to do all this stuff just to get set up. That if you're not set up for it, he's really aggressive. It doesn't leave you the window just to cleanse and get prepared for the fight. Then you also don't want to buff too early if you're using like your Wondrous Physic, because of the fact that by the time you run all the way down, trigger him, run all the way back, heal, it's probably going to be gone. Now I do believe he can kill the pest too. But why risk it? You. You're done. We'll get him. Like I said, it's kind of a pain in the dick. Oh, that's what's happening, dude. I'm sitting here buffing and not cleansing. I'm like, why the fuck? Fuck it. I like to try to deal with it in range if it's a possibility. Alright, so we'll go ahead and use our flask. Go ahead and summon Mimic. Get our health. Trigger. Cleanse. You know what I'm saying? So it's just such a fucking headache. Your iframe. Is Mimic over there fighting him? You dumbass? No, he's over here. So what happens to Ultra Tree Spirit? Oh, there it is. Try and get iframes on it. Alright, now we got a little bit of help too. We've fought these guys before. We're just, you know, dodging their big hits, trying to use fire to fight your kill. That's, you know, one of their weaknesses. I think Frostbite does okay too. They're doing the job. But we want the big hits, and we're getting out of the way of everything else. There you go, man. Use that fire, buddy. And he has this one AoE that I can never escape, where everything's like coming from the ground, but there you are. So when you line it up right, it's really not that bad, but you gotta stay aggressive. I usually don't summon since we're doing the walkthrough. I did. It helped. Because whatever you have, Mimic has. So if you have on really good spells, talismans, all that, he has it too. You know, and I think that's some of the best help you're gonna get. 2 of me is never a bad thing. If you have a good build, if you have a good build, Mimic's not gonna do anything extraordinary. You also got to remember we're almost at half game, and then he has no upgrades, so he'll get much stronger. Once you get to the last few bosses of the end of the game, a plus 10 mimic's not as good as you would think. Though they're just so powerful at that point. It's nice, you know. It's a great help. It's not a guaranteed win, so keep that in mind. That's why everyone's like, "Oh, you beat Millennia, but you did with a mimic." Like, you think that's a guaranteed win? Have you ever fought her? She'll kill your mimic in a second flat if she wants to. All right, so we'll try to do this in one run, but these guys suck. And there's a handful. Oh, Mimic's still alive. I thought he already disappeared. I'll take it. Yeah, it doesn't have much damage, but it's okay. So far, so good. Yeah, use Mimic here, guys. Wait on him. Guard counter. You could dodge through that. It seems like it's impossible, but you actually can. It's just really tricky. Heal. There you go. Thank you, Mimic. We do not need you. Alright, now after all that, if you're doing a dex build, there's an absolutely phenomenal dagger that would pair really nicely with like Reduvius if you're doing like Dex Arcane. I don't think it has arcane scaling, it would just pair really nice. And that's going to be like Scorpion Stinger, absolutely phenomenal weapon. So yeah, no arcane scaling, but it's getting Scarlet Rot. So you'd have Blood Lots on the Reduvia, Scarlet Rot build up on this, and I think it would just be absolutely devastating. So C scaling and Dex. So Dex Arcane, once again, has a lot of really crazy things if you know what to do. So from here, if you're running around with 70,000 souls, spend them. The hardest boss you have fought is right here. This is Estelle. It's like those big creatures. You know, I don't want to be a bad influence. We can just run past these assholes. We've cleared the area. So let's do that real quick. We'll just jump back. I want to do it in one run, but I'm not going to be a bad influence. You don't want to risk fucking 70, 80,000 souls, guys. You don't want to do it. Alright. 11,000, not so bad. So you're definitely going to want Mimic for this fight. Definitely want whatever weapon has the most posture damage. If you're doing intelligence and you guys like Estelle's wing we picked up, even though that wing is part of her, you think she'd be like immune to it, it literally shreds her to shit, bro. It's wild. I think Flamberge would be alright. If we went back to Great Stars, it'd be better because of the, you know, just the outright posture damage you're getting. But it's a big creature. This time she's not hanging on the shield and shooting rocks. She's coming at you. So while we're heading towards her, we'll talk about it. She can teleport around. She's going to be shooting meteors all over the place. Like when you see meteors fly, you need to run like hell. You try to dodge through them and get close. She can also leap in, try to bite at you. She has one grab attack, pretty much a guaranteed one shot. So you got to try to learn to read that and perfectly dodge through it. Aside from this, she has a special attack which creates these really big rings under your feet. I think it comes 3 times like waves that come out. So you got to jump over or run from them. They do a lot of damage. And then on top of that, there's a laser beam. She shoots straight out. Now she always starts the fight the same way. She's going to shoot a laser beam at you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go in here. A really cool cutscene, by the way. There's a few like this in the game. Like when we go to deeper depths, like you get in a coffin, fall off a waterfall. It's really cool. But it just brings you even deeper into the ground. But either way, so the fight is always going to start the same way. You're going to go in, she's going to fire a laser beam. So if you're using a summon, you're going to wait for that attack to trigger. You're going to roll through it. Then you're going to summon. And only then. But mainly, this is just avoiding big attacks and getting charged heavies where we can. Spellcasters, I don't know if it's going to be easier or harder for you. You know, I can't speak to that. So just wait for it. Now, that timing is something you just have to learn for yourself. I don't think it's super telegraphed, like as far as like a tell. I've never really noticed a big tell. We'll buff up. Every time I always want to pick up these buffs and I forget to use them. Yeah, I did forget to mention the tail swipe user comes twice. And when she pulls away, she can get you with that too. Careful. I forgot to mention that. She does so much shit. I try to mention the big stuff. She does so much. And we want her head. That's what we want. So here's the rings. Almost anything can one shot here too. Yeah, that's all you're doing. Dodging the big shit, charge heavies, jump heavies, whatever you got. It seems to be a little bit to everything. Nothing really seems to have an edge for help. Which teleports, that does do an explosion. And you never know where she's going to show up. Alright, so here's the asteroid. I'll typically run to her. Try to dodge. You'll probably get hit by something, maybe not. So we got really lucky there. So a lot of times you see stuff like that, people think you run away. But sometimes you can stay right by her, and you're in better shape. Like Ronaldo summons the dragon. If you run to her, you don't get hit. If you run away, that's where you get caught. Ooh, got lucky. Damn, she's just special attack, special attack, special attack. This is a good run though. I think we'll be good. So watch out. Just kind of jump back when she goes for that. Big explosion, heal. If she hits you even once, heal every time. There you go. Yeah, so do that shit. They're probably going to be dead on this one. They must have nerfed her. That used to be a one-shot. I swear there used to be a one-shot. Alright, so like I said, asteroids are coming, meteors. I run to her. Now, we probably got lucky the first time. Usually you might get hit. Oh no, it works just fine. Dodge in. Oh, we got hit by her wrong. You gotta line it up. Hoping to get another charge heavy, or another stagger, but I don't think it's working. So she does the rings, if you guys noticed, what I did was I ran away backwards. Worked out fine. Another big attack of hers. Got too many to list them all before we ran in. I did my best, you know. But yeah, she has a lot of stuff she does. But there's some things where it's really rare when she does it. So tail swipe. She comes twice. Waves of darkness. Yeah, didn't have the time to run there. That's our last heal. Go. So still first try. I was not expecting that. It's a very, very difficult fight the first time. But, I mean, you know, we kind of broke it down before we went in, but I feel like we did a really good job of breaking it down live as we were dealing with every attack and every instance. You guys should know what to watch out for. YouTube video, feel free to rewind it, maybe watch it a few times and seeing how I deal with the movesets will, you know, help you out. I'd say the biggest thing here is we just want to make sure that we're actually going after staggering jump heavies, charged heavies, right on her head, because you get those critical attacks. That's, you know, going to be the biggest amount of damage you're going to get. I think I can pull another level here too. I told you, it'll get to a point where it seems like, damn, levels are 50,000, 100,000, but you realize you're actually leveling up much more often because everything's worth more. Especially when we get over here to Altus, you're like, fuck, dude, we're 100,000 level, or, you know, 75,000 level, but you're getting levels all the time. Now, we've talked about this before. Once you do the Lake of Rot, I showed you guys this little area. That's where you fight Estelle. That's the boss arena. But right here is a lift that's going to bring you up so we could get into Ronnie's quest line. To check the time, we have 7 minutes to see if we can pull this off. So what we're going to do is we need to jump on back to Renala. Guys, remember there was a chest we could not open before. So last episode, when we were going through the underground, we got the discarded palace key, which we could have used it then, but you can't access the point until after Estelle regardless. So we're going to pick this up. It's going to be a ring. This is nothing more than a quest item. It's not a talisman or anything cool. So Dark Moon ring. We're going to go back to the Estelle bonfire. Now, if you have not done Ronnie's quests, which I know you had to do some of it to reach this location, but you didn't like take out Blythe, you missed that, you're locked out of this. You've missed the trophy ending, you've missed Darkmoon Greatsword, you've missed some of the most devastating, actually you have missed the most devastating spells in the game for intelligence spells. Now if you're doing intelligence, if you're not doing all the content, this content you better be doing, because you're going to miss the best stuff, melee weapons and spells to rebuild. Because up here are multiple spells that are really good. A lot of them are all frostbite. The weapon's frostbite. You get to do a really big moon like the one you got from Renala. Well, now that will do frostbite. And then you have a really big great sword that comes out of your staff, similar to the one you could have bought from Turtle Pope. But now that does frostbite. So it's going to be a duelist moonblade. Like, there's some really, really good things. Then when it comes to your platinum trophy, that, is also going to be involved here because there's so many items you need. Legendary spells, legendary weapons. Now, that we've got here, this is the Moonlight Altar. So that's what I said. You couldn't do that when you did the Urnia. Now you see why. So from the Moonlight Altar, as soon as you come out, there's going to be a church here. We're not doing this area yet. It's pretty high level. We'll come knock this out when we do Upper Caelid. So we're going to finish the underground, Mount Gelmir, Altus Plateau. We're going to get up to the capital gates without going into the capital. And then we're going to jump back, clear Upper Caelid. We're going to clear Darkmoon Altar, where we are now. And then we'll move forward with the capital. But pretty much what we're going to do is, by the time we get to the capital gates, we're like, okay, we need to close out everything that's left up to this point and have it 100% done. And that's exactly what we're going to do. That puts you in a good place as far as what level you are while you're doing combat. Now, when you get up here, yeah, the dragon will spawn in. As you see, just ignore her. Right? So a lot of starlight shards you're going to get. I'm going to pick it all up. We'll grab our Side of Grace. Now we are finally ready to get your first ending. So when it comes to getting your endings, even though we're nowhere near the end of the game, you're going to pretty much do all the prerequisites and set that ending up so it's locked in, you're ready to go. Now, like, if this is not the ending you want, or you're trying to get a platinum, don't worry. Getting one ending isn't going to lock out your others, or just have like a bunch of summon signs after the final boss. Whatever summon sign you pick will relate to, endings that you're after. So you have whatever choice, you get whatever ending you want. But this does complete Ronnie's quest, getting you trophies, getting you locked in for that ending, and then getting you a legendary ornament and you do platinum. So what you're going to do is you're going to go on down. I'd love to show the cutscene, but I said before, PlayStation cuts you off right at an hour. We're at 57 minutes, so I can't show the cutscene. Please enjoy it in your own time. It's really cool. You're going to get some dialogue with Ronnie. You're going to put a ring that we just picked up on her finger, almost kind of like marrying her, becoming her consort. Then you're going to exhaust her dialogue, once again, taking this in your own time.
I go, I bid and once.
And that locks in your first trophy ending. Now, the assumption here is that she killed the two fingers because, she was an Empyrean. She didn't want to be controlled by them, so she killed her two fingers that lorded over her, to take back her destiny. So now she's in the stars, and she will come meet us once we become Elden Lord. That's essentially what you're going to hear. And then you got your next legendary ornaments. The best intelligence weapon in the game, in my opinion. You either do, like, dual wield with the Stella's Wing, if you like that, more of a dex ant. But this is like strictly ant, dex ant, or strength ant. It works for all of it. So it's got the best scaling and intelligence. It starts with C, but it goes up to like A or B. Then physical will, if you level up strength or dex, you get a little bit more to physical, but causes frostbite build up at 55. It's just this fucking solid ass great sword. Really solid great sword. Oh, won't let us equip it. But the special art buffs it with frostbite, and it will send off magic projectiles at the enemies that can fucking melt anything in your path. Anything in your path. So, like I said, it's just a nice, solid, great sword. Ultra, really good. It does so much posture damage, it's fucking ridiculous. The special art will just buff your weapon, and then when you do heavy attacks, it sends out arcs of frostbite and magic at the enemy, and it's almost solely doing magic damage. One of my favorite weapons in the game, and what I widely consider to be in the top 5 best weapons in the game as far as the amount of damage it can do. Either way, guys, with that wrapped up, that is, our second to last underground region. And then next episode, we'll be jumping on over to Ancestral Woods. Let's just go ahead and jump there now. So Ancestral Woods is going to take us to deep root depths, and then we will be 100% done with the underground. Before we start here, we do have a few loose ends to tighten up, but the NPCs revolved around Ronnie's quest. We don't have the time, so we'll probably jump back and do it at the start, then head to deep root depths. So either way, y'all stay tuned. Please subscribe for more walkthrough, and we will catch you back here shortly.